Austin, there are nights when things are clicking and the ball's popping, and I don't want to say easy, but it feels and looks smooth. Tonight, I think it was, JJ said that you and LeBron in the fourth just kind of had to will this to a win. What did it feel like out there? And I guess, yeah, just like, can you describe the place you went to early through the mid fourth quarter?
Yeah, I mean, kind of like we talked about on the way over here. Wasn't a pretty game. We didn't execute the way we, really needed to. But you have so many games, it's going to happen. And in those situations, you just got to figure out a way to win. You're not, like I said, playing the way you want to, playing up to your standards as a group. You just have to find a way to win, and we did that.
What was the kind of the emotion that you had or thought process you had seeing D'Angelo with a chance to win it in his return get back here?
Man, it looked good. Not good for us, but the ball looked good in the air. It wouldn't have been in that position if I didn't miss about 4 shots in a row. But, yeah, I've seen him make that shot a million times. Max played good defense, but, good defense can only, take you so far sometimes. And like I said, I've seen him make that shot. And fortunately, it didn't go in, so thank you. But, yeah, he played a hell of a game. Yeah.
You had your career high 38 points, but you'd already gotten your 38, got the ball in transition, you were running through, and you passed up the opportunity to get 40 to throw the lob back to LeBron for the dunk. Do you feel like that's emblematic of your game in some way? I feel like a lot of players would maybe take that opportunity to get those extra 2 points.
I had opportunities after that to get 40. I just didn't make them. But I'm not worried about the points. I'm worried about winning. I would say 95% of the time, if there's a situation like that, I'm going to throw the ball up to him. I've seen my whole life him catching lobs, him dunking. So to be the one throwing him the ball is still cool to me, especially at his age. Not saying he's old, but he's getting up there and he can still, jump way better than, most people ever can. So I don't really think it was a great pass, but to him, he don't miss many lobs.
Hey, Austin, on the big picture, where do you think you've made your biggest strides so far through the different twists and turns of the season?
I think it's really just staying the course and figuring out ways to help us be a better team. Like you said, there's so many ups and downs in this league. The scrutiny's high being a Laker. So the more you can, just stay, connected to the group and connected with each other is the most important thing for me. And to be honest, like I spoke to Dan this morning about, D'Lo really helped me with that when he got here, with him being through that, being drafted here, being a young player. He's seen everything that, I had been through or I was going through. So when he got here, he really taught me how to, not that the noise was affecting me, but to really just push that aside and worry about, the betterment of the team, how I can continue to grow and be better. So I feel like that's the main thing is just really, continuing to grow as a leader. Yeah.
Yeah, there were a couple of guys that talked about, your leadership skills and how you've grown and evolved. What do you think, where did you dig deep into to get from, the slump that you were having to career high?
I just stayed the course. Basketball basketball and golf are my safe place. I really enjoy both of those. But sometimes, when you aren't playing well, you can think about the things that you could be doing better, or that's with everything in life. And instead, just continuing to do what you were doing and just trusting the process of the work that I put in. And nothing's changed since I've been in the league. I'm in the gym. I'm getting extra shots. So I rely on that instead of letting that affect me. A couple of bad games. Everybody has them. It's just like I said. It's what can I do in those games to even help us be successful. And to have a night like tonight, feels good. But the win, that's all that matters.
Austin, kind of a two-part question. One, I assume this will be your first look at Intuit Dome. Your whole career, when you've played the Clippers, you've used your same locker room. You've come to this office. What do you think it'll be like in terms of the rivalry for them to have their own space? And I guess secondly, they're going to throw, I'm sure, size, athleticism, toughness. Like, that's kind of what they do. What kind of game are you expecting from them defensively?
The first question. And yeah, I've heard that place is sick. I heard it's really cool. I obviously haven't been yet. I don't know. That's a great question. I haven't really thought about it. I think that Bron asked after the game, what the situation on us for arriving is, and I think that they got all that figured out. So I'll just have to ask somebody. But I think it'll be fun. Them getting their own space. And as far as how they play, they're a very physical defensive team that plays super hard. And then you got James Harden on the other side that is the engine of their offense. Norman Powell's honestly playing at all-star level, shooting the ball very well, I think he's averaging 24. So they're a really good team. We just had to go in there prepared. I think it was last year, maybe the year before, where I think the first time I got blitzed in the league was against the Clippers, and I came off the first ball screen and they blitzed me, and I was like, what the? I ain't never been blitzed in the league, so kind of threw me off. But I've seen a little bit of everything since then, so I'm just excited for the opportunity to go compete.
Last game after Miami, you talked about kind of your role, just creating for others. You had 14 assists. Obviously, at the end of December, you had a game with 16 assists. Tonight you have 38, career high. Can you talk about, from your perspective, when you're out there on the floor, just the ebbs and flows of kind of your role kind of shifting that tonight from having to score more versus create for others out there?
Yeah, I think one of my gifts is being able to fill out the game through the process of the game, and whatever that might be, to do that on that night. The other night against Miami, like you said, 14 assists. Rui had it going, Bron had it going, 80 always has it going, Max was shooting well, so Gabe played well. Everybody was, playing well, and, my thought process was getting them open looks. And then tonight, in the flow of the game, you kind of, or at least for me, you kind of feel what the game needs. And there in that fourth quarter, JJ wasn't happy on the sideline, as I'm sure y'all could guess, because we weren't playing well, so it was warranted. So, me and Bron had a conversation at the center court, just figure out a way to win the game. We know it hasn't been pretty. We know we've made a lot of mistakes, but a win in the win column doesn't matter if it's 1 or 60. It's a win, and that's all that matters. So for me tonight, it was scoring and getting us there. But like I said, I feel like that's one of my strengths, is being able to read the game throughout the whole game.
Austin, Coach talked about process versus results, and you guys just living with certain results despite adversity. So what do you make of you guys having staying connected during adversity?
What are we doing to stay connected?
Yeah,
Is that what
what do you make of you guys staying connected through adversity?
Yeah, I think that's what creates really good teams, is going through those down moments in the season and figuring out a way to claw your way back to surface and get wins. There's, honestly, there's probably for every team in the NBA almost, there's a lot of situations in the league where you feel like you're not going to get out of it. But like I said, that's when you got to be connected the most and trust, what the coaches are saying. Regardless of if people are making shots, if people are missing shots, you got to stay the course of, making the right play. Because at the end of the day, if you make the right play and you don't make the shot, you can live with those situations. It's when you don't make the right play, things can get frustrating. So it's all about, playing the game the right way, making the extra pass. And I feel like we did a little bit of that tonight. We just didn't make shots. And, that's obviously frustrating. And it's honestly not hard to, go the other direction. But I feel like that's when you can tell a team's gelled, is when you, continue to try to, get through those situations, and just knowing when you do get through them that the grass is greener on the other side.
Thanks, Austin.
Thank you.